Thank you very much for having this moment and opportunity to talk about Boston and also to talk about the country and to talk about Boston's neighbor, New Hampshire. On that day, like so many others, I had a family member whose brother-in-law was running in that race, and he was running because his father had died of cancer. And so many people were running for causes that day. Fortunately, the family's fine, but some families were devastated beyond belief. But, you know, Boston's a small city, but it's a great city. And New Hampshire's a small state, but it's a great state. And so what happens to Boston and what happens to Massachusetts is felt deeply in New Hampshire. You see, we work together, we play together, and we attend events together, and we also grieve together. And so when that call came to New Hampshire, when Boston reached out and asked our police forces to help, the answer from a Nashua SWAT team member was, of course we can. The answer from the Manchester SWAT team, Manchester, New Hampshire, was yes, and they were on their way. The answer from the Seacoast Emergency Response Team, CERT, that has officers from 11 different Seacoast communities, was yes. And the answer from the New Hampshire State Police, SWAT, and the Explosives Disposal Unit was, yes, we'll be there. They understood the danger, but they also understood that they were needed, and they didn't hesitate. And the stories coming from that experience are very moving. One team reported how an elderly woman in Watertown had hidden behind her couch for hours. You can imagine the terror that the residents felt. And yet, our first responders were there, the police were there, the comfort was there. So as we pray for the victims and we remember those who died, the victims are also from New Hampshire and many other states, as we know, and somebody died from a foreign country. But we're all one. We're all Boston strong. And as we remember all of them, we thank our police officers and our first responders for always being there when we need them, because as they said when the call came, yes, of course we'll do that. Thank you very much for having this, and I yield back.